Hey there, and welcome. Let me ask you something. What if I told you that everything you've ever learned about crafting the perfect sales script, all those killer words and phrases, is actually missing the biggest piece of the puzzle?
Because get this, research shows that the actual words you use only make up about 7% of your communication. Seriously, just 7%. So the big question is, what on earth is going on in the other 93%? Well, that's exactly what we're about to unpack.
You see, we're dealing with what you could call the 7% illusion. Learning how to master that other 93%, your body language, your tone of voice, that's not just a nice little bonus. It is the secret weapon that separates the good salespeople from the great ones. It's how you really build that gut-level trust and confidence that no script can ever give you.
And let's be real, this has never been more important than it is right now. So much of our world is on video calls, right? You can't rely on a firm handshake anymore. You can't just feel the energy in a physical room. So how do you project that same level of trust and confidence when you're just a face on a screen?
This brings us right to the digital stage and your virtual body language. Let's jump into a few really practical things you can do on your very next call to absolutely nail this.
Okay, 3 simple things to focus on. First, and this is a big one, look directly at the little camera lens, not at the person's face on your screen. It feels a little weird at first, but to them it looks like direct eye contact, and that builds trust almost instantly. Second, posture. Sit up or stand up straight. Slouching just screams a lack of confidence. Good posture projects authority. And third, show your hands. I know it sounds a little strange, but on a deep primitive level, when we can see someone's hands, our brain registers that they're not a threat. It's a sign of safety and honesty.
All right, so once you've got your visual game down, it's time to focus on your most powerful instrument of all, your voice. This is where you can really start to shape the entire emotional landscape of the conversation.
Think about it. Your tone of voice holds this incredible hidden power. It's the music playing behind your words, and you can actually use it strategically to guide your customers' focus and their feelings throughout the pitch. Let me show you what I mean.
This is so simple, but it is so effective. When you get to the most important part of your presentation, the part you absolutely need them to remember, you just slow down. It literally forces them to pay closer attention. It signals to their brain that, hey, this part matters. And on the flip side, when you want to show how passionate you are about a certain feature, you can speed up a bit and raise your pitch because that energy is absolutely contagious. Now, if you want to get a little more advanced, you can try something called mirroring. This is all about paying close attention to your customer. Are they talking really fast and they're super energetic, or are they more slow and deliberate? By just subtly adjusting your own style to match theirs, you create this powerful subconscious feeling that you're on the same wavelength. It makes them feel like, wow, this person really gets me, and they won't even know why.
Okay, so we've covered body language, we've covered tone. But what happens when things get tense, when you're in a tough negotiation? Well, what could someone who deals with literal life or death situations, like an FBI hostage negotiator, possibly teach you about closing a deal? As it turns out, a whole lot.
So let's look at a persuasion technique that comes straight from the FBI's playbook for high-stakes situations. This is something they use specifically to bring the tension down and to get people to lower their guard. They call it the late-night DJ voice. This was pioneered by a former top FBI negotiator named Chris Voss. I want you to just picture a really calm, late-night radio DJ. The voice is low, it's slow, it's incredibly reassuring. The key is to end your sentences with a downward inflection. Using this tone has this amazing psychological effect. It makes the other person feel safe and feel like they're in control, which, ironically, is what makes them way more open to what you have to say.
And this isn't just some cool theory. It actually works. When sales teams were trained to use this late-night DJ voice during really tough negotiations, their closing rates went up by an incredible 20%. I mean, that is a massive, tangible result, and it comes from nothing more than changing the way you speak.
So, when you put it all together, your posture on a video call, where are you looking? The way your voice goes up and down, what's the real bottom line? It's not about memorizing a bunch of tricks. It's all about the feeling you create for the other person.
And that really is the secret to all of this. How you make someone feel is always more important than what you actually say. Your words, yeah, they deliver the facts, but it's your nonverbal communication that builds the trust, creates the connection, and gets you to a yes.
So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. In your next sales call, just for a moment, forget about the script. Instead, ask yourself,
How am I going to use this 93% secret? How am I going to make them feel? Because that right there is the whole game. Thanks for tuning in.